Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir. And sir. Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning. This is the 1314th day.
Speaker
All
has
of
joined, already joined. The speaker has already joined. Dr. T.S. Var is present.
you to this 1314th day. Today, our guest is Dr. D.S. Bar. Let us begin the session with 1 minute silent prayer. Thank you all. As you all know, the International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy comprises of homeopathic doctors, students, and homeopathic lovers. So everybody can join the session, whether you are a homeopathic doctor, student, or homeopathic lover, it doesn't matter. So anybody can come here and watch the proceedings every day. And we are having 3 sessions in a row. That is Hindi from 7 to 8 and 8 to 9, we have an international session in English, and 9 to 10, we have our local language session in Malayalam. We are about to reach our uh, World Homeopathic Day on 10th, just 4 days away from now. So we will have celebration in all these 3 sessions, and we are celebrating our first year of that is first anniversary of Hindi celebration on the same day from 7 to 8 p.m. You're all welcome to join the session also. So let us come to the today's proceedings, and we have Dr. D.S. Bar, MSc Chemistry, PhD in Organic Chemistry, is our guest of the day, and he has worked as the postgraduate fellow for 2 years, and then a number of publications of natural product chemistry as well as on homeopathy in different first grade in national and international journals and basic science on basic science. He has the work experience, joined HOPCO, a well-known homeopathy company in 1975, taking charge as an R&D, and now working as the managing director of HOPCO since 2008. That means he has a wonderful experience in that field, and he is engaged in the basic scientific research for understanding nature and content of the homeopathic potent-based medicines, as well as the theory as determining the expiry time for homeopathic medicine. We all know some people believe that there is no expiry for homeopathic medicine. So sir will be discussing about the same also in this session. I hope so. He is a member of different central government organization like Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia Committee, Drug Standardization Committee, Scientific Advisory Committee of CCRS, etc. He is a member of Editorial Board, Advisory Board of Indian Journal of Research in Homeopathy, that is IJRH, and he is the president of Federation of Homeopathic Manufacturers and India, and executive member of Bengal Homeopathic Manufacturers Association. He has served as a resource person in various ROTP program of National Institute of Homeopathy and some other homeopathic medical colleges, as well as in many scientific seminars. He is serving as the West Bengal Council of Homeopathic Medicine as honorary teacher for their certificate course in homeopathic pharmacy. This is all about our beloved guest, Dr. D.S. Bhar. And today, so we'll be talking about the science behind homeopathy pharmacy. As everybody, we used to say that there is it's a pseudoscience, but it is not so. It is a real science. It's the real science, and sir will definitely come out with the because he is not a homeopathic doctor. He is a person from the scientific field, so he can definitely prove the world that homeopathy is the best science. We proudly welcome you to this stage, sir. Thank you. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. At the very beginning, I must thank International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. At the same time, I must thank Dr. Shahani to allow me to speak before this august audience. You see, homeopathy is still regarded as a pseudoscience, to a section of the public. What you have said just right now. This is because of their ignorance and apathy to understand the science behind homeopathy. This apathy is also present even in our own homeopathic fraternity. And that is why we fail to understand the importance and true science behind homeopathic pharmacy. Let me start my
So, are you sharing the screen?
Yes, I'm trying to share my slides.
Yes. Yes. Yes, sir. It's clear.
I think it is visible.
Yes, sir.
The topic today is science behind homeopathic pharmacy. What I was talking about, that pharmacy is the most neglected subject in homeopathic curricula, but has immense importance to establish its effectivity of homeopathic medicine in curing diseases. And no treatment will be effective in spite of correct diagnosis and prescription if the administered medicine is bad in quality. We all know that. Still then, it is there in homeopathic curricula, pharmacy is the most neglected subject. Now let's try to find what is science behind homeopathic pharmacy, as we are talking about the science only. Let's start from collection of drug substances. What is the science behind collection of drug substances? We all know how to collect drug substances, that is given in very clearly given in the textbooks and also in pharmacopoeia. I'm not going deep detail, but I'm talking about how to test the raw materials obtained from plant kingdom. We know that there are 6 major points of testing suitability of plant material. You see, nowadays, medicines are prepared out of the materials collected by some collectors or suppliers, and they're being taken into the manufacturing unit. But how to be assured that this has been correct species, correct plant material has been taken into production? You have to identify the plant species, plant material of genera up to the species level. We all know that. For finding morphological organoleptic variation is there, we shall have to find that, and finding purity and freedom from adulteration. It's all okay. But nowadays, GMP has been imposed. Good manufacturing practice. We must understand that good manufacturing practice doesn't stand in the manufacturing unit itself. It starts even from where the medicine is, the plant material has been collected. And nowadays, plant materials are being cultivated, and after cultivation, they have been collected. For collection of this plant material, we must obey good agricultural practice, that is GAP. So GMP doesn't start in the manufacturing unit; it starts in the field where it is being cultivated by good applying good agricultural practice (GAP), and after that, it is to be harvested at the right time. That means good harvesting practice is also required, and after that also good storage practice is required. Only then we can get good material, and after getting the good material, the study of constituents and the standardization is to be done for the plant materials. But nowadays, some new parameters have been added to see whether the plant materials are good for making medicine or not. And what are those? Testing for heavy metals. We must test the plant materials for whether it contains heavy metal or not. See, you are irrigating some cultivation field with water containing arsenic. But naturally, the plant will collect that arsenic, and if we prepare our medicine from those plants, our medicine will be maybe contaminated with arsenic, and not only arsenic, all other heavy metals like lead, chromium, and all those things. You will have to test the plant material after collection for microbial contamination. You know, plant microbial material collected on the plant itself very easily. And if we prepare medicine with those plants, it will be contaminated with microbial contamination. And then presence of aflatoxins. Aflatoxins prepared from molds on the plant. If we do not store the plant material properly, it becomes moist, molds may grow, and that may be the source of aflatoxin. I know at least one example in our country. What happened? One mother tincture, very common mother tincture. It was marketed, and people are saying that after taking the mother tincture, there's some poisonous effect is being done. And after testing the plant material, it was shown that it contains some mold, and aflatoxins come from the plant material in the mother tincture. So we must be very sure whether it contains aflatoxin or not. And last of all, testing for presence of insecticides and pesticides, of course, is to be done. As in every manufacturing, every cultivation field, that insecticides and pesticides are being applied very frequently. And so the traces of pesticide and insecticide may reside on the plant material. And if we use those plant material quite naturally, we won't get good medicine, we'll get only poisons. Now let's try to explore science behind method of manufacturing. I'm going through these things very rapidly, as because the time is very limited. What is science behind manufacturing? Let us start with preparation of mother tincture. In every colleges nowadays, I find that preparation, we're still teaching the students for preparation of mother tincture in the old Hahnemannian method. But throughout the world, almost all the manufacturers are using not old Hahnemannian method of preparation of mother tincture, but they're using a new method. And what that new method is? But why? First of all, why the new method approach? In the Hahnemannian method preparation, plant materials are classified into 4 types. Juice of fresh plant are being taken and added alcohol, they added equal volume. Juicy plant, less juicy plant, and dry plant. These are the 4 categories. As homeopathy originated in Europe, and so long as homeopathy was confined within Europe, this classification was okay. It's spread of homeopathy, especially when homeopathy goes to the United States. The people from United States, they wish to prepare medicine themselves, not import medicine from Europe. We shall have to prepare it in ourselves. What they tried to do, they tried to import botanical drugs from Europe and tried to prepare mother tincture according to Hahnemannian method. But what they find, that the quality of mother tincture is completely different from those obtained from Europe. Why that happened? That happened only because when they are taking some fresh plant from Europe to USA, it took almost more than 15 days, and by that time, the plant materials have been dried. So if we use the method of juicy plant, the alcohol is added as per the juicy plant. In case of Thuja, if you prepare mother tincture in USA with Thuja, following Hahnemannian method, the mother tincture, quality of mother tincture will definitely differ from that prepared in Europe. That's why the scientists thought what to do, and they find that new method is to be done. And in new method, solid content of a plant material is taken as a unit of medicinal strength, and volume of mother tincture is calculated on that very unit. If we apply this, the standard of produced mother tincture will never differ. And so this is being done right now. Second point is, in Hahnemannian method, no question of any alcoholic strength came, as because only 4 classes were there and the preparation method was very fixed. But now, as we are making mother tincture out of the, taking the unit is medicine of dried plant material unit, the alcoholic strength of is become very important. The alcoholic strength of mother tincture varies from drug to drug. But why? Why it is so? And how to ascertain at which alcoholic concentration mother tincture of a new drug is to be prepared. Keeping in mind the philosophy of homeopathy, there is totality. we must try to extract maximum chemical constituent from a plant using hydroalcoholic mixtures. The hydroalcoholic mixture, which is capable of extracting the maximum material from plant, is to be taken. So using different strains of alcohol, maximum extractive value is determined first. And that maximum extractive value of the alcohol percentage, that is taken as the alcoholic strength of the mother tincture. For a known mother tincture, it is already given in the pharmacopoeia. But for a new drug, we shall have to see what is the ABV, that is maximum extractive value of mother tincture with at which strength of alcohol. And we shall have to use that strength of alcohol for preparation of the mother tincture. Next, there are two methods of preparation of mother tincture. One is maceration or other is percolation. We all know that. The maceration is a very slow process, requires more than 15 to 21 days. But percolation is a faster process, requires only 3 days. That's why the manufacturer will naturally be interested to prepare mother tincture by percolation method quite naturally. But can we prepare mother tincture by percolation method for all drugs? Definitely not. We must be very sure whether the drug is not a fresh plant, is not a gummy or oily material is not there, and mucilaginous material is not there. If this type of material is that is for a fresh plant, for a gummy or oily plant, and for mucilaginous material containing plant, we cannot use percolation method. So the manufacturer must be very sure whether he is using percolation method or maceration method, and which method is to be used for that. Next thing, if we use a percolator, the design of the percolator is also very, very important. Drugs are to be percolated continuously with fresh solvent. Why it is taking less time in percolation than in maceration? You can have a experiment yourself. Take 1 spoon of sugar, put it in a glass of water, keep it aside. And that spoon of another spoon of sugar, take it with tea strainer. Just add water, 1 glass of water, drop by drop on that strainer. You'll find that the sugar dissolves much faster than the sugar that is kept in the glass, even it is being stirred continuously. Why it is happening? As because it is always getting the sugar is always getting fresh solvent in the tea strainer, and that is percolation. But in a glass of water, it is not always getting the fresh solvent. That means in maceration. So in percolation, the drug mixture should always get fresh water, should come in contact with fresh water, fresh solvent all the time. So the design of the percolator, this is a classical design of the percolator. But this doesn't give you always the fresh solvent to percolate, as because drug material is kept here and the percolator is filled with solvent. That means the material hydroalcoholic mixture. So how the drug material will come in contact with fresh solvent all the time? No, it will not. If the design be like this contains the drug substance and this contains the solvent tank. So solvent will always percolate through the drug substance, and the drug substance will always come in contact with fresh solvent all the time. So this will give the correct percolation. Percolation will take very short time. Another point is there. After maceration or percolation, we can decant off the liquid, but that is not the mother tincture, mind it. The mark, that means the vegetable substance, wet vegetable substance, that contains much quantity of hydroalcoholic mixture, much quantity of extract. You have to press out that material. But even after squeezing it very strongly, you cannot take out all the liquid out of that. So your collected liquid will always be less than the calculated amount of mother tincture. We shall have to make up that volume with a fresh solvent. And that solvent is to be given on the mark itself, wet mark itself, and it is squeezed again. we can get all the extracts from out of the mark. Now, how to test the mother tinctures? Just think what are the reasons for testing. Determination of alcohol content. I told you that alcohol content is very important because that will the extract, you make the extracts. Help proper extraction of drug substance and helps proper preservation of medicinal virtues. Quite natural. Determination of total dissolved solid. Why it is required? Why we require to determine total dissolved solid TDS or mother tincture? Let's show you an example. Estimation of solid matter content of TDS in asafoetida mother tincture. You see, there are 4 samples. The total dissolved solid in sample 1 is 2.15, in sample 2 1.8, sample 3 0.4, sample 4 is 0.4, sample 5 is 0.3 only. But naturally you can judge from here that these materials has not been, these mother tinctures has not been prepared in right way. And this mother tincture prepared in right way, or alternatively, it may be the raw material that is used for preparation as a mother tincture was not good enough to prepare the mother tincture. So TDS is very important to identify whether a mother tincture has been prepared properly or not using proper material. pH of the mother tincture is to be determined. pH, that means measurement of acidity. Why it is required? This required pH of mother tincture is indicative of correct quality of drug substance. For example, we have to use fruit. That should be, the fruit should always be in ripe condition. Of course, there are exceptions. Forget about the exceptions. Usually, when we use fruits, that fruit should be in ripe condition. If we use unripe fruits, we're in a hurry. We shall have to prepare market immediately. We're not getting ripe fruit. So let us prepare from partially ripe fruit or even from green fruit. What will happen? You all know that green fruits usually are sour and ripe fruits are usually sweet. So if we use green fruit or partially ripe fruit, the acidity level in the mother tincture will be more. That will be indicated by pH. And you will definitely understand immediately that the preparation has not been done using proper material. Secondly, pH is also a measure of deterioration. Just a minute. Biryani, I'm in a seminar right now. I'll call you after an hour, please. pH is also indicative of deterioration in the mother tincture. You see, when some food deteriorates, you will find, always will find it is becoming sour, as because pH level comes down. So when our mother tincture is deteriorated, it will also become sour. That means pH will come down in those mother tinctures. It's also indicative of deterioration whether the mother tincture you are using is correct or not. We're talking about the life of homeopathic medicine. Yes, homeopathic medicine of course has got some lifetime, especially the mother tinctures. I'm not talking about the potencies. I'm talking about the mother tinctures or very low potencies, and those very low potencies or the mother tincture, they certainly have some lifetime, and we must be very sure what the lifetime is. That is to be determined first. See what is going on. Another point is thin layer chromatography, where seeing the thin layer chromatography means this is the picture of a thin layer chromatography. There are 3 plates. You can immediately you can look that in the first, second, and third plate, the picture is totally different. So if we try the how mother tincture is correct or not to understand, you can make the thin layer chromatography. And we have good mother tincture sample. It can be immediate. We can compare with that thin layer chromatography of that mother tincture along with the material prepared, and that will give you immediately whether it matters is right or wrong. But that was the manual method, and now the instrumental method has come. That means HPPLC, high performance thin layer chromatography. This is the instrument of high performance thin layer chromatography. And this is a picture of high performance thin layer chromatography. Just see, this is a manual thin layer chromatography, and this is high performance thin layer chromatography. You'll find the picture, how the picture differs from manual to high performance. So now it is high performance thin layer chromatography is being done to understand whether the prepared mother tincture is right or wrong. And next come the ultraviolet visible spectrophotometric analysis. This is the instrument for UV spectrum analysis. This is the ultraviolet spectrum of hydroxys canadensis. The machine will make out the graph immediately. If we have a sample graph for authenticated mother tincture, we can compare this. If we can tell the computer compare it with the authentic graph, and if that identical, we can see this our mother tincture is correct or not. This is the graph for, I mean, it was some other, I don't know what track is. And this is for three hemamelis, hydroxys, and colosynthesis. Three types of mother tincture have been used in the same graph. And you just see the difference in graphs. So we can identify a mother tincture by using the thin layer chromatography instrument immediately. If the label is lost, we can identify what mother tincture it is. Now let us come to the most difficult part of our manufacturing method, that is potentization. This is the unique method. The method used only by HOMOEOPATHIC system. In no other system this method is used. And that's why so many controversies are there for these methods. What is the logic of potentization? We know there are two types of potentization. One is potentization in solid media, and other is potentization in liquid media. Potentization in solid media means when insoluble substances are used for preparation of our medicine, those substances are triturated with sugar of milk till 6x potency is reached. 6x potency trituration is then dissolved in hydroalcohol mixture to get 8x potency. That has been given in the textbooks, that has been given in the organoid itself, that has been given in the pharmacopoeia. But do you believe that an insoluble substance like iron powder or sand will dissolve in hydroalcohol mixture after attaining 6x potency? Is it scientific? You must question these things, but nobody is questioning. To understand what is trituration. The object of trituration is to reduce insoluble drug substance to a very fine state by rubbing with lactose crystals so that it goes into liquid phase as colloidal particle. It will not dissolve, but it goes into liquid phase as colloidal particle. And colloidal particles are as good as solutions. Colloidal solutions are as good as true solutions for making of homeopathic medicine, or make not only homeopathic medicine, but in all type of medicine. Say allopathic, say Ayurvedic medicine, or everybody is using colloidal particles for making the medicines. So here also we are making colloidal particles by trituration to bring it into liquid phase. So it is essentially required to wrap drug particles efficiently with the help of lactose crystal, mind it of proper size, so the drug particles breaks into finer particles. Why I use the term of proper size? Before that, Let's find out why we always require lactose for making our trituration. What is the science behind that? You'll find that among all the edible solids, lactose crystals are unique for their hardness and at the same time they're inert and do not have any medicinal property. Only because of this, lactose crystals are used for making our triturations. No other edible solid substance matches this hardness. Even iron powder, when triturated with lactose crystal of proper size, grinds into finer particles. Yes, it can even break iron, as because hardness of lactose crystal more than hardness of iron. Hardness of lactose crystal, there's a hardness scale. The scale is expressing more scale. Where the lactose crystal hardness is something like 6 to 6.5 mu. Iron hardness is something like 5.5 mu. So iron is softer than lactose crystal. That is why lactose crystal can grind iron to make it finer powder. But for proper grinding of drug substance, we require lactose crystal of proper size. I'm again coming to very word of proper size. Otherwise, the trituration will be of no value. Why am I using the term of proper size? Just see this picture. This is the drug molecule, drug substance, drug particle. If we try to grind this big drug particle with smaller lactose crystals, it will be insufficient grinding. It will not be able to grind this hard drug particle into fineness. So for that, we require bigger size of lactose crystals. If you go minutely through organon or through pharmacopoeia, you'll find that it has been always advised to use coarse lactose crystal, coarse lactose powder for our trituration. But what we find in the market, we always find in the market, the lactose is 200 mg lactose, the impalpable lactose. How that can drive a very hard substance to make proper particle size of drug? It cannot. For that, we require lactose, coarser lactose. At least 50 to 60 ml size lactose is required for first triturations. But after some trituration, say 3x, 2x, 3x, or something like that, when the drug particle will be smaller, it will become smaller like this. Now we cannot grind it with coarser lactose. As because here you see, the coarser lactose cannot grind this small particle. So for this trituration, then we require smaller size of lactose crystals. That means initially we require coarser lactose, 50 mg lactose or something like that. And slowly we'll require smaller size lactose. That means final lactose, say 100, 150 or 200 mg size lactose for final grinding. That is very important. And we must understand this. The method of trituration is also naturally very important. Hand trituration is usually not satisfactory. Trituration with proper machine is to be done, and triturations must be checked for achieve fineness to find out whether we get colloidal particle size. That means 10 to the minus 6 meter size drug substance or not. That is to be tested under microscope. We must be also very sure about the quality of mortar and pestle used. If the mortar and pestle used, if the porcelain of the mortar and pestle is softer than the lactose itself, what will happen? We take a powder of porcelain in place of triturated drug substance, isn't it? Lactose itself will grind the mortar and pestle, porcelain of mortar and pestle. We'll get only fine powder of porcelain, not fine powder of our drug substance. Hardness of porcelain must be more than that of lactose crystal. And if the mortar and pestle is made of any other material, that should also be harder than lactose crystals. we are finding metal mortar pestle is being used in some machines. I don't know what kind of material they're using for mortar and pestle. If there is simple iron or stainless steel, the hardness of those material are softer than lactose, and so you won't be able to get good trituration. The material must be it usually in most cases it should be more than 6. Now let's come to the most difficult part of preparation of a medicine. The logic of potentization in liquid media. What happens during potentization? Is it mere dilution? How we claim that our potentized medicines, even where the dilution is far above the so-called Avogadro number, are physiologically active? There is several methods of potentization. There is Hahnemannian method, there is Korsakovian method, there is Finkel's method, Radiatis method. Which method is to be followed? Which method is most scientific? We must understand. Liquid attenuation is done usually in 3 scales: decimal, centesimal, and decimal scale. But in each and every step, there should be medium attenuation. Homeopathic Pharmacopoeia of India prescribed use of dispensing alcohol. There is 91% alcohol for potentization. No other vehicle is therefore suitable for potentization and should not be used, as because we shall have to abide by Pharmacopoeia itself. And potentized preparations using other vehicle like water may be called substandard preparation. Next is potentization should always be done following true Hahnemannian method. That means dilution followed by succussion. But how much force is to be employed during succussion? That has not been established yet now. Force of succussion is very important here. It has been not been quantified anywhere. How much force is to be employed during this succussion? I can succuss very softly, I can succuss very hardly, but there is no standard for that. However, dilution followed by succussion is essentially required for potentization. At each succussion, the liquid mixture should end in a jar. Very important. That should end in a jar. 1/3 of the bottle in which potentization is being made should be empty. Otherwise, succussion will be of no effect, will not be efficient. Just think, if you put 2 drops of liquid in a bottle, in a 100 ml bottle, and try to succuss, will there be any effect of succussion? Definitely not. If you make the bottle totally full to the brim, if you try to succuss, will the succussion will be done? No, that cannot be. So some space is to be kept void. And it says that 2/3 should be filled, 1/3 should be empty. Get good succussion. Thirdly, new file should always be used in each step of potentization. Why? As because recent research shows that leaching of silica from a glass bottle is also important for making a medicine. If we use the same bottle again and again, this will not happen. If some mechanical device is used for potentization, that should also satisfy all these conditions. Otherwise, potentization may not be good and finished preparation may be substandard. But what happens during potentization in liquid media? What's the science behind that? Let me try to explain a little. I'm not going into deep detail, but I'll only show you a few examples. In the process of potentization, 2 steps are involved: the dilution followed by succussion. By dilution, concentration of solid is reduced. We know that very well. But what succussion do? By succussion, solute particles or the agglomeration present in solution are hammered by solute molecules, resulting in breakage of the agglomeration of the solvent. In particular fashion, I'm sorry, there is a mistake here. Agglomeration of not solute agglomeration of the solvent particles is in particular fashion. However, this is thought to be responsible for the medicinal action and therefore suppression is essential for potentization. We have seen some research articles, nanoparticles coming in a potentized homeopathic medicine, and these nanoparticles are result of this suppression. Depression nanoparticles are result of this suppression. But again, I'm telling, nanoparticles are not the final thing. But in potentization, what is the limit of potentization? Theory, there is no limit. But practically, potentization of medicine is done usually up to CM. Usually, I mean, usually, our potentials were available, but nowadays they are not being prepared. Usually done up to CM. That means dilution goes up to 100,000 centesimal steps, not beyond that, usually. When the probability of finding a molecule in unit volume of a diluted solution, the probability is very low. When it goes beyond 10 to 24, it is removed. Then how can we claim a solution? The finding of molecule of the original drug substance is almost impossible. Be called pre-medicine. This is the bone of contention of homeopathic medicine with modern science. What is behind this? Let's try to find a plausible theory. I'm asking you, what happens when 1 gram of sodium chloride is dissolved in 10 ml of water to make natrum muriatic a mother solution? The solution must contain natrum mur in the mother solution. As we have dissolved 1 gram of sodium chloride in 10 ml of water. Now let us potentize this solution to get natrum muriatic of 30 potency. What happens there? 30 potency in centesimal scale means concentration of solute in final solution is 10 to the minus 60. So we all understand that. But what the so-called Avogadro number says, 1 gram molecule or weight of substance contains 6.023 into the 23 number of molecules. That goes by Avogadro number. That means any material diluted past 10 to the 24 may not contain even a single molecule of unit volume. What is? This is a concentrated solution. We have dissolved 1 gram of sodium chloride in 10 ml of water. In 10 ml of water. But going on diluting this. Say if we go on diluting this to get our 30 dilution to 10 to the minus 60, that means there is 60 times dilution. What do you think? Whether the total solution, total volume will contain the sodium chloride or not? Definitely you will say that yes, that will contain sodium chloride, but the sodium chloride may go. That is in the solution itself. But why the science says no, you may not get sodium chloride in the solution? What is the reason behind that? This is the reason. If we dilute this concentrated solution, the molecules of sodium chloride will go apart. Further dilution, further dilution, further dilution. Ultimately, if you take some liquid from here, it will always contain some molecule. Here also, it may contain some molecule. Here also, if we take some liquid from this point, it may not contain. And here, much of the liquid doesn't contain any molecule. If we take any liquid from this place, it may or may not contain the molecule. That means the unit volume may or may not contain molecule sometimes. Then if it doesn't contain any molecule, how medicine works? Or if medicine work at all? The stumbling block to serious consideration of homeopathy is the presumed implausibility of biological activity for homeopathic medicine, in which source material is diluted past Avogadro number of molecules. Some researchers claim that presence of nanoparticles in the potentized medicine is responsible for pharmacological action. A few experiments with potentized medicine made from metals show presence of nanoparticles. Yes, it's a fine. But understand one thing, nanoparticles are much bigger in size than a molecule. When the presence of a molecule is being questioned in volume, sometimes a nanoparticle may be there, sometimes it may not be there. So we cannot say that those nanoparticles are fully responsible for our action, medicinal action of a medicine. They are not so. Then a question arises: nanoparticles are much bigger in size than a molecule. Then, when presence of molecule of the drug substance in the medicine is questioned, how nanoparticle be present, and that too be distributed evenly. So material science now focuses on three-dimensional complex network structure of condensed phase of water rather than original solid molecule. I think may I have some, I think 10 minutes more time. I hope so. So go on. We understand chemistry, we know that these are the water molecule, oxygen with two hydrogen. And these water molecules are linked each other to make a cage-like structure. This is a cage-like structure of water molecule, and ultimately structure, condensed structure of water. Yes, it's okay. But how it impacts our medicinal value? Now think, we are dropping some iron balls on a mud, layer of mud. What we'll find that when the balls will drop, they'll make an impression on the mud. And the impression will vary according to the size of the material and shape of the material, shape of those balls. Now let us think another thing, another point. One brick is lying on the street. Has that got any energy? Nothing. I'm taking this brick on a four-story building. Look at the four-story building. Has the brick any energy? You may say no. I say yes. It gains some energy as because if that brick is dropped on your head, it will smash your head. How that happened? That is because the energy gained by the brick. When you take the brick from the road level to roof, the energy spent has been stored in the brick itself. In terms of thermodynamics, this is called enthalpy. So enthalpy content, the energy content of this layer and energy content of this layer are definitely not the same. This layer contains this type of droppings, and this contains this type of like things. Energy content will definitely differ. Let us take another example. Let us take a clay ball. and put our finger in the clay ball, what will happen? There will be a dent on the clay ball. This energy content of this clay ball and energy content of this clay ball are not identical. Energy content of this clay ball is definitely more than energy content of this ball. And because the energy putting the finger in the clay ball, the energy is there. That the clay ball has taken that energy in it. And so energy content of this is much higher than that. Now, let us take, for example, this is the molecular agglomeration of the solvent itself. And the solid particles, what we dissolve as dark substance, are striking on that molecular agglomeration. It will definitely destroy the molecular agglomeration, size of the molecular agglomeration. It will enter in the molecular agglomeration. The energy of this is completely different from energy of content of previous one. And this difference in the energy content is nowadays it is being thought is responsible for a medicinal action of a medicine. Yes, it is not my own words. It is fine whether the experiments done by different scientists, not by homeopaths themselves, but in basic scientists, they have done some experiments. It is fine what those experiments are. Some experiments with modern analytical instruments. We have heard of Boyd's immunometer long back in 1922. He constructed an immunometer that human body was taken as a detector, but that meter is no more in existence. I am showing the present studies. 2011, experiment was done at Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, the premier most institute, scientific institute. Enhanced supercontinuum generation in water in presence of ultra diluted solutions. Intense ultra short laser beam is allowed to pass through solutions of ethanol in water, potence of pulsatilla nigra in water, and potence of ruta granules in water. And generated supercontinuum is measured. That means when laser is passed, some scattered, get scattered, and that scattering pattern is taken into consideration. What they find? In case of ruta, just see three types of graphs. This green is for ruta graveolens, this red is for ruta 30, and this black is for ruta 1. The graph differs from one potency to other potency. And this is indicative of presence of energy in a medicine. This is for pulsatilla. This one is for pulsatilla 30, 200, and 1. I'm not going to. Now, exposing homeopathic potency in high intensity electric field, what happens? Potentizer induces ordered macromolecule. I'm not, let me skip all these things. I'm just showing you the result. Study of dietary dispersion of sulfur, phosphorus, and cucuramate, all in 30, 200, and 1 potencies. When these potencies are kept under high electric field and measure their electrical dispersion, we find that three types of display graphs we get. The rates are for sulfur 30, all these rates. This is for sulfur 30. These blues are for sulfur 200, and these greens indicate sulfur 1000. So we are getting three types of separate graphs: sulfur 30, sulfur 200, and sulfur 100. This is only because of the energy content. This was for phosphorus. This phosphorus 30, 200, and 1 in. The blues are for, the reds are for phosphorus 30, the blues are for phosphorus 200, and the greens are for phosphorus 100. So QPM metallica, 30, 200, and 100. Now let's see another experiment.
Sir,
May I get just 2 minutes time more. Experiment involving atomic force microscope. You'll be astonished to find what we are getting here. Just a drop of potentized liquid is kept on glass plate, and it's allowed to dry up. What will be on the glass plate? Nothing. That glass plate is taken under atomic force microscope. We're astonished to find that these type of structures are there. And by looking through atomic force microscope, this type of structures there. This one is for arnica 6. This one is for cuprem 6. This one is for pulsar 6. Just see the difference in their structure. This same stuff for arnica 30 itself, you see, find that they're almost identical to arnica 6. Just the intensity, difference in intensity. Cuprem is identical with cuprem 6. Pulsar 30 is identical with pulsar 6. What does it indicate? Does our medicine contain anything? Related potential difference between homeopathic potency and pure alcohol. A very simple experiment. This is a glass tube with a separator here. On one arm, we put some alcohol, and the other arm, we put some potency. And these two electrodes are inserted and it is joined. And we find that electricity flowing. If our medicine doesn't contain any energy, how the electricity is being generated? After all these discussions, we may conclude that homeopathic medicines are not merely alcohol or water and has got physiological effect. But the quest for knowledge doesn't end here. A series of research is to be done. The requirement of research involving basic science, research involving method of potentization, research involving method of titration, reproving our age-old medicine, medicine of nosal origin, proving methodology on shelf life, and research establish unambiguous method of selection of medicine is to be done. As the time is short, I cannot go any further. Thank you. Thank you for your patience here. Thank you, sir.
thank you, Dr. D.S. BHAR, sir. It's really a very good session. Unfortunately, these kind of research are going on in every part of India in various labs, but it is not, we are not able to reach the same. Because so what we need to at this time is to publish all these things among all kind of scientific textbooks, journals, as well as in publications in news papers. Otherwise, people won't reach all these things. So not only that, we have to publish all those things among the journals and periodicals in each and every college, because no, even college students or college teachers does not know about all these things. So all these things need to be published in different part, whether it is in college level or in news media level or in other research papers. Anyway, it's really a very good session. Hope we can have another session from you. In since there were lot of things to be explained, you you are running in a just like you run a cricket. So
Yeah, the time is very short.
you have to tell a lot of things to us, but since the time is short, you are running like anything. So anyway, we congratulate you for this excellent session. I think we can have one more presentation from you. Hope somebody, I shall call somebody to say. Dr. Rajeshwari Rapta, can you say what are thanks to this session? Dr. Rajeshwari, please unmute yourself and say what are thanks to Dr. Yes. Yes, madam. Yes.
Hello, sir. It was a very nice session. Dr. Dar, you explained about all the types of potentization and also the scientific research, how it is conducted. And it was a wonderful session and we gained a lot from this. Thank you once again from all behalf of all the IFPH community.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Rajeshwari Rapte. Tomorrow we will have a session from Dr. Banu Prasad. He is from he is a neurosurgeon who is always interested in the integrating all these medicines. So we will have another big session coming on tomorrow and the subject of discussion will be universal health. Universal health. So thank you, Dr. The BHAR sir and all of these who have attended the session.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Hope all of you will be joining tomorrow at the same time. Thank you all. Good night. Thank you, sir. It is over to Dr. P. Shaila to moderate our Malayalam session.